Finally, I'm late, but here we are. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Emmett, the artist, and if you were somehow waiting for the stream and it didn't see it go live, it's because I don't know how to work StreamYard, and that's just pretty much what it is. All right, so listen. Okay, so you saw it in the thumbnail, and Subio said, "What?" Yeah, Subio said something that I forgot to mention in my last video that he said during his press conference, which is ultimately hilarious. And I'm like, how did I forget to mention what he said? But some of you were reminding me of what he said. So I was, let me talk about that real quick. And it's official. They just had literally the first press conference for Baraau versus Xander Zaya's unification in 2026 of January. At the end of the month, it's the 31st. January is packed with Puerto Rican boxing actions. It's going to be crazy. Um, and but before we get to all of that, thank you for tuning in if you're new here, and thank you if you're older subscriber that continue to support. I really appreciate it. So, se me había olvidado que lo que dijo Super Matías durante la conferencia de la pelea de él. Pero muchos de ustedes me recordaron what he said to Dalton Smith. You reminded me que le iba a sacar la niña a Dalton Smith. He was going to bring the girl out of Dalton Smith. Now, okay, I guess we could break that down in a few ways. Podemos hablar de eso de unas cuantas maneras. Primero, que lo dijo. Like, he said it. It was like, yo, I want to bring... Basically, he wanted to say, I want to bring the B out of you. That's what he really wanted to say. But I guess he was being politically correct. Quiere decir que tú vas a sacar la... Anyway, whatever. But what made me laugh was when he said it. Lo que me hizo reír. So if you notice when he was talking during the press conference, obviously there was a translator. Había una traduciendo. Se me olvida el nombre de la doña. Eso falta de respeto porque ella es buena en su trabajo. I forget her name. But you know, she was translating as Subriel and everybody who spoke Spanish was talking. And so when Subriel said it, you could tell that Team Dalton Smith was just like listening, like, okay, I don't know. And then when the translation came, it was like, yeah, I'm going to bring the girl out of you. In that moment, en ese momento, ¿qué tú crees que estaba pensando Dalton Smith cuando Subriel le dijo que te voy a sacar la nena, la niña de ti, bring the B out of you? Like, that had to be something, because you're hearing it in one language, and then when it's translated, you go, oh, wait a minute, I was staring at you the whole time, regular, and now here you are, like, talking crazy to me. Like, and he didn't really respond too much, like, because I guess it took him off guard. Like, creo que lo cogió por sorpresa lo que le dijo Subriel. You know, because, like I said, you're hearing it in one language, lo escuchando en un lenguaje, y después te lo traducen en el tuyo, tú dices, oh, shit, me cogieron. Like, what? Like, you got me like that? Like, that shit was hilarious. So, that's what I forgot to mention. Like, that was pretty much, like, the only part of the whole press conference where, you know, Subriel trató de vender la pelea. Excuse me, I got allergies or something. Subriel intentó en ese momento vender la pelea y lo aplaudo. I applaud him for trying it. You know, he has to do things like that because he wants to sell the fight, and I'm glad he's trying. Y sabe, estoy alegre que él trató e intentó de vender la pelea y como traer a Dalton Smith en una pelea verbal, in a verbal, you know, he tried to engage Dalton Smith in a verbal confrontation, but Dalton Smith was not, you know, he's not, that's not his character. No es el carácter de Dalton Smith, se parece, para hablar de aquí para allá, de aquí para allá. So, that, you know, I understand. So I'm not really gonna hold that against them a little too much. You know, so that was that. That's what I had forgot. Y yo no sé cómo se me olvidó enseñar esa parte y hablar de ese tema, lo que le dijo Subriel. But, you know, it is what it is. But really, the only big story, not big story, no es la noticia grande del día, pero noticia grande en sí, o especialmente para unificar otro campeón puertorriqueño. Eso es de Xander Zayas. So Xander Zayas is, you know, the unification bout between him and Baraau finally got officially like on stage and announced for January 31st of 2026 in Puerto Rico. Now, you know, they're billing this as a fight of like, you know, between, how should I say, as if, like if it's, you know, more dangerous for Baraau, right? like if the fight for Baraau is what's really happening, like that's the big deal, which I don't think so. I think that fight is closer than most people think. Yo creo que esa pelea está más cerca que la gente se dan de cuenta. And I'm gonna show you a little bit of Baraau and why I think so. Because it's not fair to say that, because to be honest, para estar más honesto, el oponente de Baraau cuando capturó el título era un oponente mejor que en cual Xander Zayas se enfrentó cuando capturó el de él. So the opponent that Baraau really faced to capture his world title, I believe, was a better fighter than the fighter that Xander Zayas fought for his title. I believe that. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe you disagree. But I think for me, that's the truth. And Baraau is a come forward fighter with good defense, slips. I think you know, he's gonna give Xander more problems. I think that people give him credit for. Now let's take a quick look. Yes, he is against the yes, and you see him. Él pelea un poco, no exacto, pero un poco como Matías, Baraau, ¿verdad? A frente, a frente, pero tira menos, obviamente. El poder no es tan grande como el de Matías. Pero ya ustedes ven ahí que ya mirando en esta pelea, you can see in this fight alone that Tellez is a better fighter than I think that's the Mexican guy that he fought. You can see that he's a better fighter. Tú lo puedes ver. Barrao no es un Manilo. Like he's for real. I think. I mean, he dominated Tellez. Él lo dominó. He dominated him. And I believe, and like I said before, Xander Zayas is going to be brought into a little bit of a war, and he's going to hold a lot. I'm trying to tell you, Xander's going to hold a lot. Now, he could surprise us all, and Xander could come out and fight, Baraau, brilliantly, and outbox him without having to result in, a lot of holding and clinching and stuff like that. But you can see here, Baraau is just simply taking him to town. Like, he's taking everything Tellez has. So él le cogió todo lo que Tellez le dio y le respondió. And he responded. He at no moment, en ningún momento en esta pelea se le puso muy grande para Baraau. Echándolo para atrás con el jab y para adentro. Ahí ve el jab y midiéndolo hasta que se le metía adentro ya el cuerpo. Pause. He'll get inside and he'll outwork the yes. Y yo creo que va a ser peor. Y otra cosa que yo no sabía, and another thing I didn't know about, was that Xander Zayas and Baraau has sparred a lot. So, ellos como 70 rounds, 70 rounds apiece. I mean, not a piece, but in totality, they sparred. So, Baraau lo conoce muy bien. Baraau knows him. Now, yes, they both said it. Sparring is sparring, and we're not going to talk about what that might and might not do. It might be to my advantage. It might not be to my advantage. Pero, I mean, look at how Baraau gets in, right? And he gets out, and he slips, and he's pressure. He can show you right here that he can work from the outside angles. He's not an outside fighter, but you see how he's backing up, backing in again, and coming in again, and backing out again. He could work some angles, and I think he's going to need that against Xander Zayas. So esos ángulos que él está dando, metiéndose para adentro, saliéndose para afuera, tirando los uppers de afuera, throwing those uppercuts from the outside, he's going to need that against Xander Zayas. And I think he knows exactly what to do against Xander Zayas. So va a ser interesante. Yo creo que la pelea va a ser más cerca de lo que la gente está proponiendo que va a ser. So I think it's going to be a difficult fight. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Xander. I don't think Xander goes in there and just outclasses, Baraau. Yo creo que él va a tener que trabajar para su pelea. He's going to have to work for his fight. He's going to have to work for the championship. Ahora mismo lo tengo 50-50 y no sé quién va a ganar por ahora. Voy a esperar más que cuando el tiempo pase to see who really I feel will have the advantage. I hope that they have some some behind the scenes training videos and things like that so I can kind of gauge a little bit better on who might have the advantage. But like I said, I still think Baraau had the better opponent. Yo creo que Baraau tenía el oponente mejor a frente de él para su campeonato mundial. I really do think so. And the fact that, the guy that Xander was a lesser opponent, and he showed at times that he struggled with that guy. Sorry. And it could be the style. Puede ser el estilo de García cuando se le enfrentó a Xander Zayas. I think it's Garcia. I don't know. I'm sorry if it isn't. But he did struggle with him in spots, not the whole fight. He won the fight fair and square and, unanimously. But he did struggle in spots, and he was scared of the power, and he would clinch a lot. So, and I don't know if it was nerves for his first world title, but he definitely showed some inconsistencies there that I think Baraau could exploit. So, I don't know. Most people are thinking it's going to be an easy fight. I'm thinking it's going to be a rougher fight than most people give him credit for. So, para el fin de enero, vamos a ver, y Dios quiera que él no pierda esa pelea en el Coliseo de Puerto Rico para unificar con su primera defensa, because if he does his first defense and he loses in Puerto Rico, it's going to be a hard road after that. Va a ser una larga distancia para regresar donde está ahora. So, I don't know. I just think it's going to be a better fight. It's going to be a good fight, though, I think, overall. I don't know if it's going to be a stellar fight, a classic fight, or anything like that, but I think it's going to be a good fight. I just wanted to go ahead and make a quick video about that because, listen, I don't have enough, right now, I'm getting my new assignment at work, and there's a lot of stuff happening going on. So when I get home, I'm just going to try to, squeeze in some time and get on here and make some videos. But let me know what you think. What do you think? You think that Xander Zayas is going to actually, struggle a little bit with Baraau? Do you think he outclasses him? No problem. Easy money. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. And I'm going to end this one quick. That's what I want to get on here and visit you guys a little bit. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.